Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chancellor Zimfer. Friends, thank you. I want to give my thanks and congratulations to Senator Seward and to Crystal Peoples-Stokes for their leadership in terms of coming forward with this bill which puts in place the rational tuition program that is essential for the ongoing support of SUNY. Let me tell you what this is all about. Over the last 3 years, the legislature has reduced SUNY's budget, SUNY state support, by some $1.4 billion. That's what's happened. We have to make that up. I wish there were some other ways to do it. The only way that we have available to us, the only available tool we have is to raise tuition, but not at some astronomical rate, but at a modest rate over a predictable period of time. That's the only way we can do it. Now, some people are concerned about access. They say that if we do this, students who really want to come to SUNY colleges won't have access. Let me tell you something. Access has already been imperiled by the policies we have in place. Right now, over the last 15 years, only twice in the last 15 years, have we seen enrollment in our four-year colleges decline. Why is it decline? Because students aren't being admitted because we don't have the classes and programs to accommodate them. So access has already been put in jeopardy by the lack of support that we have. We want to turn that around. We want SUNY to continue to be available to the students who want it and need it. And this program will make it happen. I'm so pleased to be here with representatives of the 64 campuses, the presidents and their staff people who work so hard to provide the quality education that our students deserve. And we can only provide quality education if we have the resources to pay for it. As access is important, but you know what else is important? The quality of the education that we provide. That is also important. And we are committed to provide that quality education to every student. And this bill will help us achieve that. If there was some other way, we would all be supporting it. But this is the only available resource that we have. And this will work, and we hope you will all support it. And you know, I'm so glad our students are here. We'd like to hear from our students. But you know what? We've already heard from the elected representatives of the student bodies across the state. Well, that's too bad. I didn't vote for a couple of people either, but they still became president of the United States. You know, that's what happens, you know. So the fact is, the students who were voted, the students who represent the student assemblies across the state, they were the first to come forward with this plan. They said they wanted rational, predictable tuition, and that's what we've given them. So we hope we will all be able to work together before this session ends to get this bill passed. It is essential for SUNY's future. Thank you.
On-topic questions from media members only, and then afterwards we have off-topic questions from people well away from the podium. So, if you have questions for anyone?
I'm wondering how many people on the station
We'll
make
take-
over $250
we'll
million
take
a
questions
year
from,
and what they've sacrificed?
Take questions. Scott,
How you plan to get this through the assembly showing so just last week with the Buffalo plan, who has serious doubts that the assembly would actually embrace this. What's different this time around? Because last week I didn't hear a yes from him.
Well, if you were at the event yesterday, the summit yesterday for Stony Brook, you would have heard the speaker say that he is looking towards doing some sort of rational plan for tuition. Has he said that he specifically supports this bill? No, but that's the beginning. He's there, and I believe that we can move him towards the right direction. I think Assemblymember Glick has even come to the realization that there needs to be some sort of rational proposal put forward, and I believe that she's actually working on something to present something to the public. She's probably still in committee meetings where I should have been, not that she wasn't invited. You might also know that, she's not a member, a sponsor of the bill, but as the chair of the Higher Ed Committee, for her to be at the point where she believes that there needs to be some look at a rational, predictable proposal for tuition, I think we're in the best place than we've been in the last couple of years.
In fact, both Assemblymember Glick and Senator Laval were at the session yesterday on SUNY 2020, and we're certainly privy to the discussion that was held yesterday. Well, the question is, do we have a preference? I think our students understood the 5.5%, and I think we're trying to find something that is acceptable to all. I will say that the two proposals or applications that have come forward for SUNY 2020 use as a bedrock that 5% figure, and they understand that rational tuition is the primary building block for success.
I would add that obviously the number is under discussion, the appropriate number, but the key points in this legislation, as well as what we hope will be the end result, are really three things: a rational, predictable tuition policy for the SUNY system, making sure that that money stays with the SUNY system and the campuses to benefit the students and the campuses, to provide program. And a third point, and that is maintenance of the state's effort and state support for the SUNY system, using a baseline so we do not go below that, and that can only be enhanced in terms of state support. We need to have that third rail, and that is that maintenance of effort on the part of the state. The last thing we don't want to continue in the state is for the state budget to decrease its support for SUNY and shift that burden over to the students. We want to put an end to that, and any tuition increases would go to enhance the student experience at SUNY.
I would just like to point out on that particular issue that Governor Cuomo has on a number of occasions publicly stated these two provisions, that all of this money will go to the students, will go to the campuses. It will not be used to balance the budget. And secondly, that there will be a maintenance of effort. There will not be a decrease in state funding to offset the increase in tuition. The governor is publicly committed to that position, and that should give us a great deal of satisfaction that the money will go where it's supposed to go. You're a citizen. Ask your question, my brother.
Some of these students can't afford it. $500,000 for administrator.
I don't know anybody that's saying. I'd like to apply. I'd like to apply for one of those jobs. Yeah. Yeah. Let me answer your question. You asked if I've ever considered cutting my pay. Let me answer the question, my brother.
Can he
Let me answer.
respond?
Let me answer the question. All right, go ahead then. Let's hear some more.
This is my question. Have you guys ever considered of cutting your pay along with what you're cutting with the citizens? Have you ever considered that?
Yes, except I don't get paid, so my pay can't be cut. But in the legislators' pay, I can't cut the legislators' pay either. But the fact is that we have to pay people because we are in a competitive environment. We compete with other public universities, we compete with private universities, and if we substantially reduce the pay of people who do these jobs for us, we will lose those people. And to provide the quality education that we're talking about, we have to have, well, I'll take the credit for that, okay? So the fact is that we haven't considered those pay cuts, and I don't think that would make a difference in terms of what we need to fund the university. But I appreciate your question.
Thank you. Can I just respond as it relates to the salary, particularly of legislators? I've been here for 9 years, and the salary has been the same since I've been here. And I'm not running away from that. I'm fine with that. But I know that a lot of my colleagues, because, I live in Buffalo where the cost of living is a lot lower. They live in New York City where the cost of living is a lot higher. They would love to have a pay raise, but it's not possible now because there are no additional resources for that. So I think the point that the gentleman here wants to make is that we should cut the salaries in order to find revenues for more people to go to school. But what's happening with the opportunity for rational tuition is particularly institutions like UB. It's going to use some of those resources that are collected to offer opportunities for those who earn less money and have less resources to go to college to help finance that. The TAP resources are also going to be commensurate with people whose financial needs call for it. So, and there's also, I want to say about 5 or 6 other opportunities where people can get grants and Pell and all those sorts of things to attend college. There's no reason why anyone who wants to attend a public higher ed institution in the state of New York, no matter what their income is, why they cannot afford it, because there's help out there for them. And if they're unable to find it, then I would invite them to call my office, and I'll be happy to help.
We'll take another question from the members. Brett, go ahead.
I think I just mentioned those, and if you look at the facts of how TAP is distributed, I want to say that about only 15% of the available TAP resources go to people who are students in SUNY system. 85% of the other resources that they get come from the federal government or scholarships or Pell, or there are a number of other resources that are available. So it's not like there are not going to be opportunities for people. As a matter of fact, there'll be more because these institutions will again be willing to share some of the revenue that they receive with students who aren't able to afford it.
We have an information piece that I think most of you have received, which shows that only 8% of our students who are eligible for TAP have exhausted their TAP. That means there is room for students, many students, to still access TAP. Secondly, our Board of Trustees issued a resolution at its last meeting that every campus, each one of these presidents, design and present to us a plan for these alternative strategies, financial aid, work study, paid internships, and the assist to close the TAP gap. So that's already very much in the works, and our campuses are already doing that. We just pledged to make that public to everyone.
Thank you.
Morgan?
Well, I don't think there's specificity in how the administration should decide to spend that money, but there is specificity to say that whatever is collected at whatever particular institution, that it has to stay there. And we'll have to trust that the trustees and the college councils will make the right decisions on how the resources are used. Now, we know that if, particularly if it's UB or one of our research institutions, that they're going to put a lot of focus on increasing their capabilities to provide excellent education in those areas, so that they're able to get more students who want to come there and get the kind of results that will, benefit that system. So I don't think that we can specifically tell them how to spend the money when they get it, but I think we have to have the right people in place who will make the right decisions.
But I want to assure you, Assemblymember and the Senator, we are ready to respond. We understand that the primary goal is completion. That means the courses have to be offered in a timely fashion so that students can complete their degree requirements and graduate on time. That is our pledge to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Sorry for the win.
That's all right.
Very good job.
Very much. Really appreciate it.